When a blade has the words War Bowie stamped on it, it perks my interest right away. Hey folks, welcome to the channel. Welcome to another episode here at Gideon's Tactical. Today we're gonna do an old school but good school blade here on the Tops Knives Prather War Bowie. Now this has been around a long time as one of their older designs that first came out when they first kind of hit the market, and has been around a while, but it has always connected with me. I just haven't ever gotten around to it. I was like, man, there's just something really cool about its line. So today we're gonna test it out, see what it has to offer. Is it a good survival knife? Is it just a war buoy like soldier knife? Or is it somewhere in between? We're gonna discuss that and show you what it can do today in this video. So let's go ahead and get to it. All right. Let's talk about the business end of this knife. I am blaming my buddy Peter Kohler from Dark Timber Knives for my love of Bowie knives and just clips now. When I first started the channel, I was a drop point, spear point kind of guy. I did not like clip points, and now I am in love with them, and that is because of him and his influence in my life. I'm digging this, guys. I mean, this is a freaking probably one of the biggest swedges and clips you're ever going to find on a knife. So let's jump right into it. From handle to tip, 7.8 inches overall. Actual cutting edge is 7.5. High saber grind, love that. High saber grind, totally digging that. Wide blade back here, tapering down some. Massive belly. I mean, the belly is like starting back here, you know, all the way up. Great strong tip, not overly thick but not overly thin either. That swedge is nice and thick, which is good for batoning, but you know, just gives off not only strength but great aesthetic appeal. So it's not actually going to damage your batoning stick as bad as many other clip points out there, like a BK7, you know, a Tops US Combat that we're kind of testing out right now. This thing has such a wide clip that it won't damage your batoning stick. Nice flats back here. And then 1095 high carbon steel. Tops does a great job with that. Great relief edge, 1/4 inch thick. Going to come in at 15.5 ounces, so basically a pound. But for the size, they really balanced it well. The balance point is right here on the knife. Just perfect. Perfect balance. Feels so nimble in the hand for such a large blade. And guys, yeah, it says War Bowie. This is a do everything Bowie. This is a stick a bad guy. You know, you're on Isla Sorna and a raptor's jumping on you and you're going to gut it and survive. You're going to be the one standing over its dead carcass because you carried the Prather War Bowie with you on that particular adventure. It is going to carve and whittle and do survival tasks and you know, bush tasks that you want it to. It's going to be able to stab and penetrate, slice through material, cordage, rope, all that stuff. It's going to baton, it's going to chop, it's going to do everything you would want in a 1 pound midweight survival knife and anything you would want in a combat fighting war buoy. I mean, it's going to do it all. The designer, Jeff, I believe it's Jeff, right? Yeah, I believe Jeff Prather just did a mind-blowing job on this knife. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about the handle, because this is where I think a lot of people may go either awesome or not. Now we have a massive cut-in right here, again designed for combat, so you are not going to accidentally slide up and hurt yourself. I mean, that almost goes beyond my knuckle. That thing is awesome. Got light jimping here, not aggressive. I like that. That's the type of jimping Tops needs to do. Sometimes Tops can get a little over-aggressive with their jimping. That is perfect. Perfect, gives me the traction, but it's not like sharp and gonna like destroy my thumb, particularly if I'm doing like a lot of carving and cutting tasks with bare hands. So I'm totally in control. I'm only like a 1/4 inch away from the cutting edge, so unlike a lot of combat knives that give you like a giant ricasso, or you know, maybe, you know, there's a finger twirl, you have to decide. This thing, I have the control to do carving and whittling, but I also have the lockup of a combat knife, so that's really good. That's a big positive right there. 5.8 inches overall on the handle length. Micarta handle scales, you got that lanyard hole out the back there. And they did a good job putting the lanyard, you know, down here, not up high, so that when I grip it, I wear large size gloves, as you guys know. Plenty of real estate, plenty of room to spare there. Really dig that. Good contouring. Now, I was a little concerned from the pictures. I'm like, man, that looks really squared off, really clunky. It's not. It's really contoured well. It has that coffin shaped design that's classic of Bowie's and does a great job with it. So it kind of flares out the back. So what that does is when you're backing up and you're chopping, it actually fills out your hand really well. It doesn't create any hot spots or shock, and is able to stay in your hand without it giving you like hooks to worry about, because some people like that, some people don't. You know, like a bird beak out the back, nothing like that. But it just flares in that direction, so it's getting wider the further it goes back, and it stays in your hand with chopping tasks. So that's a positive. You don't have to reset as often. Now, to my knowledge right now, they only come with Rocky Mountain tread. That I was, again, a little concerned about. I've had positive and negative experiences with that. This was a positive one. I didn't cause any sort of hot spots, didn't thrash my hand when I was chopping, carving. I wasn't like, oh my gosh, get this thing off. I would like to see an option for that. It would be awesome if Topps did release this, maybe with their newer, one of their newer coatings, you know, like one of the river washes, and then just a non-Rocky Mountain tread version as well. I think that would be sweet, because some people just don't like it. There is no, again, to my knowledge, you can check their website, but to my knowledge, no option for just plain handle scales. Maybe if you call them and did a custom order with them, because they do, to my knowledge, still do sometimes that. They may be able to build one for you. You'll pay more, but they'll build you one and not do Rocky Mountain tread. That might be an option. Now, you guys know I wear large size gloves, have large size hands. I love the handle and the fit. Now, some point of contention when I was handing this around with all of my buddies, Brian, my cameraman, who has extra large size hands, and then a couple other people had like bigger hands than I. They were complaining that the neck right here was too narrow. So if you have extra large size hands, you may find that this neck portion right here is a little too small. Just to give you some perspective, here's an SE6HM. It's almost the exact same diameter around the neck. So it's not small by any means. It's very similar to a lot of other blades out there, but I just wanted to point that out. It does have a thinner neck than some, and just as an example, an SE6 here, the neck portion right here on the SE6 is slightly fatter, slightly thicker. Not by a lot, but you know, it's going to have a little bit more girth around its neck right here by the guard than you would see on the War Bowie here. Again, I have zero issue with it. Just needed to point that out because I loved it. My buddy Brian did not. He was like, this is too narrow, dude. I don't like it. So he would not like it with extra large size hands. I love it with my large, and I'm sure anyone smaller than that would love it as well. And guys, again, I love the SE6. This Prather War Bowie can do anything that this knife can do, and a lot of tasks even better because it's slightly heavier, longer blade, and it is phenomenal. I mean, this thing is an amazing mid-weight survival knife, as well as, I believe, a mid-weight combat knife. So the Prather War Bowie is super sick, and for me, fantastic handle ergonomics. And I will hit price with you guys here real quick, and I always appreciate when you guys use those hyperlinks that we offer to you over to Amazon, Blade HQ, and don't forget our Knockaround Sunglass affiliate. If you're looking for inexpensive but high-performing sunglasses for the family, check them out. You see them in a lot of my videos, the sunglasses I'm wearing, pictures, you know, that type of thing. They are phenomenal. Check all those out. You guys purchasing through those hyperlinks support the channel, make the channel go, and I thank you so much for that. Now, Topps did send this over to me to test out and review, and this thing is going to come in at about $150 to $160 for this blade, and I think compared to everything you're not only finding from Topps, you're looking at other, you know, USA-made companies that are producing high-carbon knives like this in 1095. That's right in the ballpark. So, you know, for about $150, $160, you're getting a knife that has a lot of performance value and has a lot of capability and is going to give you a unique style that a lot of other knives don't really offer you. And I think you're getting a good bang for buck for that about $150, $160 price point. Okay, so we're going to talk sheaths here real quick. Now, this is an older design, so it comes with Topps older, kind of cruddy nylon sheath, barely gets the job done, pouch in the front, molly on the back, Velcro tabs, kind of hold the knife in there, it rattles around a lot. The knife is a much better tool, doesn't deserve this type of nylon. Now, I got to give it up for Topps that in recent years, they have really worked hard at producing more and more knives with really good leather sheaths and really good Kydex sheaths. So the more and more we're seeing newer designs coming out with better and better sheaths from Topps, so I got to give them credit for that. That is awesome that they are doing that, and particularly in their last couple years. Now, because it's an older design, doesn't come with the any other type of sheath, so I went over to AZ Welke, links below, and got myself this super ultra sick sheath. This is just one of many belt attachments you can do. Really, really great sheath. super solid, zero rattle. I mean, now this war buoy feels like a war buoy. It feels like it's ready to rock and roll and be used anywhere and everywhere around the world. And I think it can absolutely do that. And this knife deserves a great Kydex sheath. So not only do we have the links there, don't forget about the 5% off code that AZ Welke offers to you viewers with the GT05. Use that at your purchase, and you'll get 5% off your purchase from AZ Welke. Well, apparently I've been mispronouncing. It's Prather, not Prather, on the war buoy, but either way, however you want to pronounce it, Prather, Jeff Prather has outdone himself with this design. Tops has outdone themselves in executing the design. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I thought it was like, yeah, it's just kind of different, you know, going to show some classic, you know, Tops knives. I want to test out some of their older designs, you know, and stuff, but I am like addicted to this blade, guys. It is so high performance and so different than most other blades that you're going to find in this price range with these materials that it connects with me on every level. It is one of my new favorite knives, and probably one of my favorite knives that I've tested and reviewed this year, 2018, in the fixed blade realm. So super sick blade. If you've been thinking about it, do it. You will not regret it. I think you're going to have a blast rocking this war buoy, and you'll go to war in the woods or go to war overseas. Either way, I think it'll serve you extremely, extremely well. So thank you so much for coming over today, checking out the channel. Please subscribe, comment, like, share this video. Love to hear your guys' thoughts, any questions that you have. Don't forget about the mailbag. If you have a question you want answered in an upcoming video, put hashtag mailbag, ask your question, you might get it answered. Don't forget about the Gideon's Tactical Show going live every single Saturday. It's a great, different type of format where we have interviews, we talk topical stuff, and it's just a cool entertainment segment that necessarily doesn't have to do all with gear and reviewing gear. So check those out as well every week. And finally, guys, always remember, stay equipped, stay prepared. We'll see you out there.